3D printing multicolor models wastes material and time. Snapmaker's head swapping printer is really fast. Want to print large models? Then this square box shows the single part size the Bambu Lab H2S can complete. Printing a helmet in one piece is no problem. Want high strength parts? This 3D printed part less than 1 cm wide has super high toughness. I used all my strength and couldn't break it. It recovered a second after letting go. Could anyone really break it like this? Today I'm back at TCT 3D printing show. Let's see what interesting 3D printing stuff is here. It's only been about half a month since I last shared a visit to a 3D printing exhibition. Let me show you how crazy fast the iteration speed is in the 3D printing world. There are so many new machines, materials, and processes I haven't seen before. Really eye-opening. Let me share. See which one you might find useful. In terms of equipment, RIS 3D's new E3 model has dual print heads and an external feeding system. It's specifically optimized for printing TPU flexible filament with improved algorithms and components. Feel the softness of this printed model. TPU+PLA can be easily printed. The staff member said if we test it, the softest it can be printed at is approximately 75A because they haven't found 70A or softer materials on the market yet. The top feeding system has tension detection and provides active feeding power. This way, when printing flexible materials like TPU, it avoids issues like under extrusion caused by the filament being pulled by the extruder. If it gets tight, it will feed a little more material. It works in this way. And staff said this external module will be sold separately later because it doesn't just support this machine. It's an independent module. Theoretically, it can be used on any similar FDM machine, adding detection and a power source for your flexible filament, reducing print failure rates. Phrozen's first FDM multicolor 3D printer, the ARCO, is launching next week. The size is very large, supporting large volume multicolor printing. Printing large models takes a very long time, so Phrozen increased the print speed to 1000 mm per second. Compared to most desktop 3D printers, the speed is doubled. The multicolor box also directly has temperature, humidity display, and drying functions. These are the models it printed on site. The color change effect is quite good, clean, with no color bleeding. This integrated movable model is very flexible right after printing, and the accuracy is high. Talking about recently launched multicolor devices, we have to look at the Snapmaker U1. This machine achieves multicolor printing by swapping heads. It's super popular recently, and the booth was surrounded by people. Its crowdfunding campaign raised over 100 million yuan. It directly solves the waste issue in multicolor filament changes. By switching between 4 nozzles, it not only changes colors, but different print head can use different nozzle types and temperatures. The on-site demo had one head printing TPU, and the other head had PLA for printing supports. The material change process is very smooth, really fast, and it can also do multicolor printing with flexible materials like TPU, giving creators and designers more room to play. Currently, there probably aren't many machines that can do this. Next to it, this Snapmaker Artisan 3-in-1 printer can directly, by swapping heads, enable the same machine to perform 3D printing, CNC, and laser engraving. As early as 2017, the Snapmaker originally pioneered this concept of one machine handling multiple tasks. This direction has been continued and advanced. It's more suitable for creators with relatively limited workspace, allowing them to complete more process in a smaller unit of space. Bambu Lab's new machine also debuted at the show. Based on dual-head multicolor printer H2D launched, the H2S changes the dual heads to one single head, reducing head weight, giving it higher print speed and acceleration. If you're mainly printing large model and have relatively less need for multicolor, then it's considerably better than the H2D in terms of price and efficiency. It's very intuitive. It directly prints a large cube. This is the maximum volume the H2S can print. The H2D Pro next to it is for enterprise level users. The main difference from the H2D is the added network port for wired local operation, ensuring data security. For individual hobbyists, you don't need to consider it. 众诚智慧 Smart 3D Sand Printer can directly use ordinary sand as material, then use a special binder to print sand models. It's not picky about sand, and it's very fast. In about 4 to 5 hours, you can get a sand mold this big. It can withstand temperatures over 1000 degrees Celsius, used for metal part casting. After casting, break away the outer sand mold, and you can get a refined metal model. The key is the sand can be recycled and reused for printing, so it's almost a one-time investment for the equipment, with very low ongoing costs. They also have a wax printer here. It prints pure wax material with 0.02mm accuracy. Combined with the loss of wax casting method, it can mass-produce ultra-high detail jewelry models. The one that feel most different in style from all the maker and industrial-grade equipment here is this one, called Sweet Princess Sugar Printing 3D Printer. Put sugar blocks in, and it directly uses FDM to print edible sugar paintings. This is truly a cyber inheritance of intangible cultural heritage. In terms of material and process, I mainly focused on materials with special functions. There were several booths featuring high-toughness materials, all directly printing lattice structured daily necessities. For example, at Bolly's booth, shoes, neck gaiters, cushions, pillows, any place that's close to your body and prone to sweating can use this structure to achieve lightness and breathability. And the material's elasticity is good enough that even if stepped on daily, it can still provide sufficient support. It's not just a single form. They've sold over 500 of these stress balls today. Over 500 balls. Everyone is so stressed. Such lattice structures can also be combined with other process and materials. For example, the back fitting part of this backpack has a lattice patch built in. Combining with such process can break through upgrade products we've used for years. And there's many tech focusing on high-performance resin. This is a challenge here. If you can break this test piece, you can get a labubu. If someone passes all 5 levels, they take it. The toughness is too strong. Didn't even pass the first level. And this super strong impact-resistant material. I weighed 80 kilograms, stood directly on it, stomped on it, no problem at all. Shiwei ceramic printer here uses a mixture of ceramic powder and photosensitive resin. Using wet polymerization processing, it can be made into very delicate greenware, enabling batch production of high-precision ceramic products. Using this process, you can make degradable bionic bonds, industrial-grade high-precision ceramic parts, and so on. At Kongshi Zaowu, I saw a green material somewhat like glass. It's high-temperature resistant resin. Models printed with it can withstand 280 degrees Celsius heat, enduring thousands of casting uses without wear or deformation. But at the show, what made me most curious was this display by Metal Shape, printing directly with metal filament on an FDM machine. The filament is mixed with 80% metal powder. A consumer-grade FDM printer completes the printing, but printing isn't the end. Post-processing requires their equipment heating to 1500 degrees Celsius to melt away the mixed material in the model, leaving only the metal part. During this, the model shrinks by a certain percentage. Finally, you get a pure metal. If you want to try more process, but it's not convenient at home, you can choose JLC's manufacturing service. Not only can industrial-grade equipment be used for printing, but the post-processing is also done very well. Like these full-color printed models, after spraying with varnish, they have a ceramic-like texture. Besides 3D printing, Laserpacker also brought laser engraving equipment and creative works, using lasers to perform very high precision processing on various materials. Their equipment is relatively compact, can be handled and portable for use in various scenarios. For example, doing custom customization work, the most unique among them is this foldable laser engraver. Folded is about the size of a notebook. A power bank can power it. For makers who frequently attend markets or exhibitions, it's a very convenient tool. There's also a test model displayed by Hajime Tech, using a conveyor belt form to replace the fixed print bed. The printed model is conveyed down to you by the belt. and the belt carries it away, proposing the concept of an infinite y-axis to achieve automatic continuous printing. If the product becomes feasible, 3D printing firms might completely switch machines and change their workflow. And the most creative area at TCT must be the Genius Hub. It's full of creative makers' works, combining 3D printing process. Very imaginative. There are simulation mechanical models. After firing one shot, it hooks and ejects the shell. Exquisite architectural models, small car models, printing patterns on clothing, and so on. Everyone's creative works can also be sold directly at the nearby stores, achieving real-world conversion. At this venue, Snapmaker also held its first public exchange event in China.
有一个小型的 press conference，注重和我们 influencer 合作的一个公司。
I also had exchanges with domestic creators. As the person in charge of Snapmaker and overseas creators, I'm mainly concerned about whether the repeated changing of the working head of the equipment will affect its accuracy, as there will be some repeated friction and vibration during the process. The staff relied that there was no need to worry about its accuracy. It only needed to be calibrated once upon startup, and it could ensure very accurate printing for 1 or 2 months of continuous use. The calibration required in the later stage is also fully automatical, which is very convenient. The rapid print head switching mode of the U1 printer can bring rich creativity from the combination of multiple materials. They previously found multiple overseas creators to conduct stress tests with various materials. The U1 stability also stood the test. The biggest benefit of visiting exhibition offline is being able to exchange ideas with makers from various fields, gather new ideas, and understand industry development directions. Perhaps a new idea from a conversation might hatch a new unicorn company. We've also set up a discussion group. We can discuss daily, and events will be posted there. The way to join, I've put in the comment section. If the above sharing have any reference value for your 3D printing creation journey, I also hope you can give a thumbs up, subscribe, and support. I will continue to share more 3D printing related creative content. See you in the next video.